Hi everyone, mainly putting this little video up to demonstrate how I test the lamps. This was prompted by a subscriber of mine, Neon Junge. I hope I pronounced it right. He is German and I probably pronounced it wrong, but the Neon Junge, he was showing what he had made up, and I thought it was quite good. It was a good effort, and he was basing that on another subscriber of mine, Alex. So this video is really for the Neon Junge. If he's got any questions, please ask. Unfortunately, I don't speak any German, but if he can get it translated to English, I will certainly answer any of his questions, or anyone else that has got questions on here. Anyway, I'm going to plug the forum that I'm on. It's very, very good. I keep mentioning it on various videos, and they go into details: lamps, lighting, it takes in street lightings, and I've forgotten what it's called, but don't worry, that'll come to me. That's the problem of getting old, you tend to forgetting things. Anyway, it's the lighting gallery net, so anyone can look it up. It's perfectly free, it doesn't cost a penny. You can have a look at it. It's the lighting gallery net, and as I say, they cover all aspects of lighting and lighting equipment, chokes, ballasts, you name it, there's a place for it. You can even put things like that are not even connected with the hobby. You can put your pussycats on there, dogs, animals, anything you like. Anyhow, that's enough of the plug. Now I'll show you what I use. And I've used this for many years now. It's the good old Variac, which is simply a variable transformer. You wind the wheel up, you wind it up, you've got your voltages on the side. What I would say, when you finish using this, always return it to 0. That way, if you accidentally put a lamp in which is of a lower voltage, you're not going to blow it. So always bring it back to 0, and as the range goes up, this one, you'll probably light the lamps in a minute. There we are, we're lighting a lamp at about 100 volts. This is actually a mains lamp of 240, one of the new LED lamps. Funny enough, I picked this up at a boot sale, and the one next door to it, turn that on full. I'll take this one out so it doesn't block it out. You've got the old Beehive Neon. Funny enough, both these bulbs came from the same boot sale a couple of weeks ago. The Neon is quite old, and it's had many hours of use. It's called spluttering. That is when the centre electrodes deposit their metal on the outside or the inside of the glass. It's called spluttering. Anyway, this demonstration is not really to talk about individual lamps. It's to give you an idea of what I've made up to test various lamps. Now, it's not completely finished yet, and I can show you. Got various adapters that will take all sizes of lamps. Now here we got an Edison screw, but reduces to another size which is quite popular in America, there's one of the lamps that uses that size screw, so you can then, and it's difficult with one hand by the way. Anyhow, the idea is to screw that into that holder, then it will screw into a normal Edison screw. You've got another bulb there with the same size cap, so that can then be screwed into a standard Edison screw. What I'm doing there, I've got my variac down to 0 because we're going to try a bulb out on here. Let's try that reflector lamp. I can now screw that in, and that's an American bulb, so that'll be on 110 volts. Gently wind the variac up. That's at 100 volts, and that's as far as I'm going to go on that one. So you can see we can test that one. Have a little test of that other. I think they call it an intermediate base. It's not common in Europe, but it is common in Japan and fairly common in America. We'll wind the other one up. I don't know the voltage of this. They were gently winding it up. This one I would think is possibly quite low voltage, 50 volts going through it at the moment. But say with the variac you can control the voltage and hopefully not accidentally blow any of the bulbs. I can take that out, variac to 0. Also take care when screwing these in, it's very easy to actually touch the metal part of the screw. You've got great big hands like mine, it's quite easily done. What else have we got? Oh yeah, I can show you some other little holders. We've got various holders there that will accommodate different lamps. You've got a small bayonet holder, and you've got another American holder there which is not for this size cap, but it is for the cap called a Candelabra. Now I haven't, for some unknown reason, I didn't show a Candelabra lamp, which is a bit silly, but it's not this size, by the way. The cap is a little bit smaller than that, and it's called a Candelabra. Sorry, I didn't put one out ready, so I can't demonstrate that. Well, anyhow, it's not wired up yet. It's in the process of being wired up, and how I do this is to have a bayonet plug there which you'd put into a bayonet holder, and that would be wired across to that one, and hopefully another one for a miniature Edison screw. This is what torch bulbs use. It's called a miniature Edison, and the Candelabra would be between those two sizes, and of course the bayonet cap, which is this one here. It's a bayonet, what is used in England and France, and some of the Commonwealth countries. South Africa, I believe, uses it. Australia, New Zealand, they use the bayonet cap. Now, before I go, let's just show you another lamp I've got. This is a Philips. In fact, made in Poland. SL13 Comfort. It's a compact fluorescent type. Pop it in there. Use the variac again. Now this is on our voltage, so hopefully it'll work. Yes, there we are. That's working on 240 volts. I've got several of these. I seem to have picked them up in the past. My main source for old lamps is boot cells, and if you read my articles in the lighting gallery and on YouTube, you'll soon learn that that is where a lot of these have come from. I can turn this one off. That's a compact. Quite a heavy lamp actually, it's quite heavy. A more recent compact. Now these are compact fluorescent, they're not LED. I know the gentleman I'm talking about, he was showing a couple on his video, which was in fact, looking at it, it looked very much like one of these, but it wasn't. It was actually an LED, and it looks like they're positioned round or inside the tube, and when they're light you can tell they are in fact LED. Now this lamp is CE, so it's European, well, for European voltage. It's spiral 20 watt, 220 to 240 volt, made in China or where else. And I'll give you a quick demonstration of that. Making sure the variac is on 0. Can't emphasise that too much. Well, this is on our mains voltage, so that can be wound up. And away she goes. Compact fluorescent spiral lamp, if you like. So it's a good little testing arrangement. It's nowhere near as good as what Alex has got. Alex made a very, very good testing station. He can virtually test any bulb going, I think. And but this one's basically simple and it does the job. Now I put this bulb in. This is a screw-in bulb again from America. So the fact it's from America, it'll be, if I can screw it in okay, would be 110 volts. Tighten him up. Wind her up on the variac. And that's what it looks like, a light. It's got a coil filament, a horizontal filament. It's not even in the shape of a horseshoe, or we would call that a wreath. They call the filament arrangement a wreath. And I'll show you another one, which will be the last one of this little group. This is really just a demonstration to show you my testing station. It's not as sophisticated as Alex's one, but it does the job. You can turn it down, unscrew the bulb. Incidentally, I've just put this lamp up on a lighting gallery net. You take a picture of it, you give a little bit of detail about it, the size of the lamp, what it's called, type of filament, dimensions, the type of cap or base. So it's quite easy to do. I could be talking to you like this for all day, but I mustn't. Now the last lamp I'm going to show you is an English lamp. It's rough service. It's quite an old one. As you can see, the glass is quite a bit darkened. I'm winding her up on the variac. Looking at the filament, This is known as a double wreath. The filament is like a double length, and the reason for this is a rough service lamp, which would be vacuum, and to get all the filament in nice and neatly is to make it like two horseshoe wreaths, so they call it a double wreath. This lost favour many years ago to the what I call zigzag type, which I should have brought one out. No, I've got one handy. No, I'm just looking about. I've got bulbs there everywhere. I can't really show it, but a zigzag is where the filament goes up and down to once again get the length of the filament into the actual lamp itself. And the reason the filaments are single coil, they're well supported and they will withstand a few knocks and vibration service. This is why they're called rough service. You can buy from the shops now a lamp called rough service. It's not rough service. It's to get over the laws about not being allowed to sell incandescent lamps. But this one you're looking at now is a genuine rough service. This is by Osram, and that is the English Osram as opposed to the German Osram. Don't know if you can see the name. You can probably make the name out on top there. If you can see the name, Osram. And rough service bulbs were not as bright as the counterpart for the normal lamps. Reason being they were vacuum and the filaments would run at a less temperature, so they didn't get so bright, and also being single coil as opposed to coil, that also reduced the amount of light. Anyhow, this should do for this time. As I say, I'm hoping the Neon Junge has seen this, and hopefully if you can make comments, please make comments. As I say, unfortunately I don't speak German, but anyhow, no problem there. And anyone that's interested in the lamps, why not join Lighting Gallery? There's an English equivalent group, all things lighting, which is equally good. So it's worth having a look into. And any questions that people may have on that can also be answered on the forum. It's not just a means of showing photographs. There's information there, you can ask questions and anything else. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I'm going to upload this to YouTube, and hopefully it may be of interest to people. Thanks again, I do appreciate you watching. Thank you.